Good evening, everyone. This is the Chestnut Ridge Woodline forecaster. I'm Steve Cooper at 423-965-4900. It is great to have you along on a wonderful, wonderful Friday evening. It is currently Friday, December the 28th, 2012, and we are moving quickly through the New Year's weekend into next week. And boy, do we have a pretty good weather pattern to tell you about as far as dealing with winter weather goes. Now, folks, as it's been last year it was quite a bit of a nasty situation. We had a winter roller coaster ride last year, and following that spring, we had what we call a very hot summer and also a very hot spring. And much like last year, we could see the same this year. Hopefully not, but it is very possible. Got some advisories to explain to you about right now. There are quite a few winter weather advisories, snow advisories across the northeastern states. It looks like part of that affects the northeastern Tennessee Valley, and also that moves right on in through the Ohio Valley, Indiana, Ohio, and through the southeastern parts of the Ohio Valley there. Looks like some snow showers. Looks like an area of low pressure that is going to move northeast, and that is in return that's going to cause a good chance for snow, not only in the mountains but also through the Ohio Valley. Now, here's what's going on as you look at the map here. As you can see how the advisories all line up, you can see that we have an area of disturbed weather up to our north. That's what's causing the snow shower and snow advisory activity up here in portions of Wisconsin. Now, further south of that, you'll see that along the Ohio Valley, back off into Arkansas, that there's also snow advisories, winter weather advisories, winter storm warnings, and it does look like that is actually this is the low pressure system that everybody's been watching. It looks like this low pressure system is going to move its way off toward the east-northeast, while the actual cold front pivots southeastward. And as it does so, there are currently flash flood watches. There are marine warnings as well going on down and through the Gulf Coast of Mexico for some very strong winds near 40-50 miles per hour, some heavy rainfall, and also the possibility for a few strong storms. Now, the strong storms and heavy rain will stay off to the Gulf Coast of Mexico, while further north of that will be the cold air. Now, the funny thing is, look how all this is lit up to the north of the Ohio Valley, and look how all this is lit up through the Tennessee Valley. This right here is exactly how the jet stream sags. That's where the cold air sags, and that's why we're seeing a lot of that advisories, is because several disturbances ride from a southwest to northeasterly wave, while there are several disturbances off to the south that continues to go from the Gulf Coast of Mexico on up in through the southern central sections of the Mississippi Valley. And that's what's bringing all the rain and the flooding issues, along with the possibility for some gusty winds. Now, as we got that out of the way, I want to go check some other features for you, and I want to go ahead and look at some other weather models here. And in doing so, I will go ahead and exit out, and I want to quickly go into Telecast.com and currently show you what the radar is showing right now. Now, as we look at the radar, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about, what we're actually watching here for. And as you look at the radar, you'll see that back off toward the Midwest, first of all, starting off in the Midwest, a very beautiful forecast, just a few upper-level disturbances that are riding along from California and the Sierra Nevadas, moving on up to the northeast, and that's what's causing the rain showers, the snow showers across Oregon, back down and through northern parts of California, and through south and central part of California, while you have a stationary boundary that kind of separates itself from warm to cold. And what that eventually is doing is it is slowly stationary. It's stationary. It's a stationary front, but it's starting to lift its way further back to the northeast as a warm front. Now, what that's going to do is that will keep much of the weather in the Midwest quiet, while also the areas of the western Pacific stays quiet as well. However, we do have another area of low pressure that we're watching back over coming in from California that will ride to the south and that will come straight up through the Gulf Coast of Mexico. That will once again bring moisture in and the possibility for some snow showers and thunderstorms continuing tonight. And it looks like as we go into next week, very much the same thing. So it looks like it's going to be much of another repeat of next week, just like we have tonight, except probably a bit more stronger. Now, there is a system on up into Canada, and what this is doing is it's bottling up a lot of cold air, and it goes all the way from the northern Ohio Valley down and through portions of the Tennessee Valley back north. And what that's doing is it's separating between the stationary boundary, keeping the warm air south and keeping the cold air further up to the north there, and that's why we're seeing the battle transition take place. So more than likely, what we will see continue is that we're going to continue to see rainfall for much of the night. I do think that the system is going to be out of here way before we actually start to see any accumulating snowfall for sure. Now, for the mountains, that may be a different story, as it does look like some wraparound cooler air and moisture may bring a little bit of accumulation for the Smoky Mountains and excess there, probably about 1 to 2 inches most likely. I'm not really expecting a huge amount of accumulation, as it does look like this storm system is starting to ride up and over the Tennessee Valley, the Ohio Valley regions. And what this is doing is, as warm air starts to push northeastward, it's not only taking the precipitation of snow and keeping it way north of the Tennessee Valley, but it's also changing whatever the snow is trying to turn from rain back to rain, because the mid-levels are staying warmer than average. So really, I do think most of the night we're going to see rain, maybe a couple of sleet pellets for the colder pockets. Then before the precipitation ends, you may see some snow showers, but I don't think it's going to be much of a big deal, as it does look like we're going to start seeing just some accumulating snows for the Smokies there, and then back further off into the northern Ohio Valley. That's where snow showers will continue. Now, back from Ohio down through Indiana and Chicago, I do believe that's where you're going to run into most of the bigger, heavier snows as it starts to push off to the northeast. Now, the bad news is I don't think we're going to see it warm up anytime soon for the north and northeast. The bad news is I think the cooler air will slowly drift northward. The good news is we'll see warm air, but the bad news is for everybody that are storm chasers, I'm sorry guys, but the cold air is going to stick around with you for a very long time as we go into the near future. Now, however, I'm watching another storm system back off toward the west, like I said, down through California. That's bringing rain, heavy rain, a few snow showers for northern California. That very system is going to ride its way further northeast and bring us maybe some showers and thunderstorms later next week with the chance for snow later on. But we're going to have to see how that goes, as temperatures are still continuing to fluctuate in the forecast period. Now, another thing I want to show you before this video runs out is basically what I want to show you now is the models I've usually watched during severe weather, during winter weather. That's not it. Got the wrong thing. All right, here we go. Here's the latest models I usually watch for any returns of severe weather and winter weather. First of all, I want to look at the date. First of all, I want to kind of look at temperatures and go over the temperatures with you. Now, if you are a cold air fan, you're looking at temperatures right now, currently in the 30s, and it's staying all the way from the northwestern parts of the Tennessee Valley and right on up into portions of the Ohio Valley. That's where the colder air is existing. And as we work our way into the next several days, you know, what's going on is as we start seeing that cold air, and you know, we got that system right on up in the Ohio Valley, and what that's doing is that system up in Canada is acting like it is a fishing reel. It's taking that cold air and it's trying to reel it north, but yet the stationary boundary is trying to play some tug of war with it. So what it's really doing is it's kind of riding up and over the Ohio Valley, right on up straight northeast, and that's really why we're not seeing much of a transition change here as far as the temperatures go, but we will pretty soon. You just have to give it some time, and before you know it, we will be back into the warm weather, and voila, as you can see to the Gulf Coast, there's that warm weather that's from Florida down through southeastern Texas. So what's going on here is it's keeping us the hot dog in between the hot dog buns. We're in between of all the weather systems, and what we get is the in-between systems, and that's why we're really seeing too much of a transition from warm air to cold air a lot. It's called a roller coaster. When you get that stationary boundary, you see up cold air riding along it while the warm air starts to try to push to the south. However, I am seeing a bit of a strong southwesterly flow. It's going to kick in, and it's going to ride those temperatures further off toward the northeast. And so let's go and take a look at Sunday. The cold air will try to start seeping in a little bit more. So Saturday and Sunday looks pretty cold, as highs will continue to be in the 30s. But now as we work our way into Monday, you'll still see that we're going to be pretty well into probably the mid to upper 30s, probably near even 40 degrees, lower 40s if you will. But now the real deal is going to be Tuesday. We start to see those temperatures start to warm back up. We start seeing the cold air move further to the north. 40s come back over across Tennessee, Kentucky, and Ohio. West Virginia gives everybody a break there, while it looks like the colder air starts to stay. It continues to stay between Kansas, Oklahoma, Plain States northward. So really, storm chasers, it's going to be pretty cold for you for a long time, while further south you go from the Carolinas down through Texas, you'll find the 60s and 70s. Now Wednesday, we start seeing that warmer weather increase more. We start not only getting into the 40s, but we all start seeing also 50s coming into the picture. And so it looks like we're going to warm things up quite nicely. Now as we go to Thursday, a secondary shot of cold air comes in. So again, it's like I told you, the jet stream continues, the stationary pattern continues, and fighting in between the tug-of-war of systems is what's going to keep us awfully cool for the next upcoming days. Now looking at the thunderstorm probability, you'll see that thunderstorms are always possible when there's a lot of warm air and cold air coming in between. You'll see that thunderstorms possible for the Gulf Coast of Mexico for the next several days. However, what I want to show you now is the severe weather part of things. Let's go and take a look and see where the severe weather is going to be at. And as you can see here, not really a whole lot going on. As you can see, these are the models. They have changed. It looks like in the models for at least for Sunday, Saturday through Sunday, you'll find the chances for strong to severe storms from Florida right on it, maybe into the eastern Carolinas. Then as we go to early Monday, the front exits out. There's really no weather problems there. Looks like everybody's going to be really way quiet, free of severe weather. Yippee, Happy New Year's to everybody. Looks like as we go into late Monday into Tuesday, still quiet. So really this weather pattern is going to slow down, and there really isn't going to be any severe weather coming back up the next couple of days or into at least next week. So quiet weather is promised, and so it looks like we're going to deal with that and just that only. Here's a look at the latest forecast from the National Weather Service. Want to go and pick some towns out for you, kind of give you an idea of what is going on here. Now as we look into the overnight forecast, you'll see 30s in the forecast, with some light scattered snow showers to the mountains for the plateau. We'll see mid to upper 30s across the region. It's not going to be too bad. However, I do think that most of the snow, once again, will stay in the mountains southeast, right on up into the northeastern Tennessee Valley. Again, really not a big deal to worry about there. For Morgan County, if you're going from Morgan County, 39 degrees is the current temperature now. Humidity 82%, wind speed calm. Barometric pressure 29.87 inches of mercury and on the steady. Now dew point right now at 34 degrees while the visibility is at 9 miles. Here's a look at the forecast for tonight. Overnight showers, we'll see a low around 34. Now don't be surprised, we could see some sleet mixed in at times, but it's going to remain warm in the mid-levels really So really not a whole lot going on as we start to see a low of 34 with a 100% chance of rain. Saturday, the rain continues. It will become much more breezy as we go into Saturday night. Continued mostly cloudy. It looks like a low of 24. Now between Saturday and Saturday night, any moisture remaining will be snow showers or snow flurries. Now Sunday, we start warming things back up nicely, back into the 40s, and it looks like we're going to get much colder later on into the week. So that's a look at the forecast for Morgan County. And now, as you work your way down and through the Central Valley, like Greene County, Knoxville, it looks like much of the same weather there continues. It's going to be rain, not really a lot of snow except for Saturday night. That's when we'll start seeing a little bit of snow in the valley, as it looks like temperatures will be into the 20s. But for the Strawberry Plains, right now 39 degrees, fog and mist, humidity 86%, wind speed at south at 3 miles per hour, barometric pressure 29.83 inches of mercury, and the dew point at 35 degrees. Visibility is 6 miles. And as we go into the forecast period for Saturday night, once again, snow showers possible. Little or no snow accumulation is expected. And as we look into the mountains, yeah, that's right, Gatlinburg, Tennessee, all those places, winter weather advisory in effect for you. This is where the snow, this is where basically, like I said, you will not see much. Actually, the winter weather advisory is canceled. So if you are in Pigeon Forge, the Smoky Mountains there, winter weather advisory has been canceled for you. Looks like for the overnight showers, we'll see a low around 37 and a 100% chance of rain there. Saturday, it looks like there's a 40% chance of showers with a high around 41. So really not a whole lot going on there as far as the forecast details go. However, if you're in southeast Sevier County, Blount County, down through portions of southern sections of Monroe County, it looks like that there is a winter weather advisory, and that is for possibly 1 to 3 inches of snowfall or less. That's a look at the latest weather conditions here from the Chestnut Ridge Weather Center. And you, of course, can always log on to your local National Weather Service, but also you can check it out at 423-965-4900 for all your latest forecast weather information. For now, have a great New Year's weekend, and I will see you back here when I make my next video.